What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. A woman can find a man good looking but still not want to sleep with him. Yeah. And I haven't really hit this subject as a subject matter in a long time. Because I checked to make sure I wasn't like giving y'all the same title. So, I changed it a bit. Plus, they don't like certain words in the title. So after about a minute or so, I'm going to talk about what the real deal is. Put it in gutter language. But a reality is a woman, she can even find a man good looking, but she don't want sex. She don't want to sleep with him. She don't want to go to bed with him. And, so why is that? Because, you get a lot of guys, they paying other guys to look at them and shit. And, well, two things I need to think about. One, they not the woman. Two, how can a guy tell you what a woman is feeling? See, sex appeal is more than just good looking. First of all, being good looking ain't objective. Some guys will say, well, he's objectively good looking. Ain't nobody on this planet objectively anything. Because if your feelings get involved, objective means it's a cold-blooded thing. Because saying it's objective, I ain't gonna lie, that shit's some little racial bias and shit. Ain't no science to it. Anybody say it's objective, that tells me how smart they are. Look it up. Do a internet search on the word and see what objective really means. No, it's always subjective. But even if a woman look at a guy and think in her heart that he's good looking, she still might not want to sleep with him. Now, why is that? Because in a minute's past, sex appeal and looks are two different things. And I've said that several times. They're two different things. In fact, I was looking at something online. I'll see if I can share it. It's this dude asked this woman. This dude asked a group of women who follow him, like, how do you know if a dude got good dick? And I've talked about this before. And only one of them mentioned jawline. They were mentioning some physical stuff with the body, hence body game, but also they were just talking about the attitude, how they carry themselves. See, looks are just that, just looks. But what turns a woman on is not just the body, that's the base. But, because she got to want to see him naked. She can see his face for free. I want y'all to think about this shit. But the body, that's the base, but then the personality, the charisma that goes with it, the attitude. Does the dude have big dick energy? And if anybody asks, how can I get that? Well, shoot, that's my that's Rom TV. Just Rom TV, Vimeo on demand, and just shoot what I just talk about. You'll find out on your own if you hit the gym. Shit. So another thing is every man got a boiling point where, his body will turn on a woman. We'll talk about that. Yeah, I'll put a link in for when me and Shophar, brother named Shophar, talked about that and stuff. I'll put a link in the description box. Because it's more than just that. Because if you take an honest look at the guys really getting out here, it's not the guys that look like models. Like, these guys be using models and stuff and talking about calling them PSL guys and shit. If you ask them one simple question, you say, these guys personally? The answer be no. Say, how you know what they getting in? How you know if they even straight? They using that as a model, but when you talk about sex appeal, that comes on several factors with several women. And the most common has been the body. Because like I told you, I've known some dudes, they wouldn't... you can look at them and say, okay, does this dude look like the other models? Does he look like he'll fit in? No. And it be some dudes, they ain't over 6 feet. Some will have a little bit of weight on them. Good frame, but a little bit of weight still. But still getting women like crazy. But what it is that sex appeal. That's two different things. Women will tell you that shit. In fact, it's funny, right? You know that show that's on now, Love Island? I ain't gonna lie, I be watching that shit. This shit's interesting. They had a couple times they said something on there. I was like, damn, the censors usually get that. But if you notice, they've been letting them curse and do a lot more. They trying to get more attention. But this one woman, she was with a guy who looks like a stereotypical Chad. And he ended up like being booted from the island. But I'd never forget what she said. She said she couldn't see herself sleeping with him. I was like, well, damn. This is a motherfucking Chad. Another guy, the woman cool with him, but they hadn't slept together yet. She was like, I hope he was good in bed. It's like, shit. Those are two different things. See, when women looking at a guy, they looking at his whole package. Yeah, they looking at his face, but they also looking at his body. They looking to see if he got a good size on him that they will like. Those are said they will like. You know? In fact, I forgot the name of that show that was on. It started off looking at their bodies. Damn. What was that show? I'll look it up and put it in the description box as soon as... I can't think of its name right now. But I'll put it in the description box where they started off looking at the bodies and then got to the face. You know? And they were rejecting guys, shoot, based off their body, based off their dick size and shit. It is what it is. You know? Before they get in there, their face was the last thing. But that show was basically off of sex appeal. And you know, as men, let's just be real. We can understand it. Like, for any man having trouble understanding that, I want y'all to think about something. How often have you met a woman you think is sexy? Like, there's this woman on IG. I always see a reel with her. She always do like some stuff like she an office worker or something. Be crossing her legs. I looked at her. I said, man, she's sexy as shit, but she ain't classically beautiful. She does not have that classic look. She definitely don't look like a model. She got some meat on her. She got sexy legs, but I said, you know what it is? It's how she present herself and how she act. Cause she got a big following and shit. But that's sex appeal right there for a man who needs to understand. Because it's not the same thing. Because think about something. If it was just looks, we wouldn't need handsome man game. They would just need to be handsome. They wouldn't need game at all. But it's more than that. That's why I promote body game. And then, you know, if anybody who really follow me know, I also promote having charisma, having masculinity. They looking at all that shit. Because say a guy look good, but he acting effeminate, that ain't going to turn on most women. Except, you know, that might turn on some masculine woman or something. But that's not going to turn on most women. You know? You got to look at that shit. Because when women, okay, let's go. Well, unfortunately for men just look at the woman. So, but for men who are more attuned, you be looking at her attitude, everything like that. Is she receptive? That's the main thing. You know? How she wearing her clothes? Is she blocking her body? Or is she showing her body? They must be doing something here. I can see all these cars out here. Yeah, they about to do some work. But yeah, you know, because sex appeal, like, okay, how you wear your clothes. You wear your clothes in a way that enhances your body or your look. Do you have a little bit of a rough look? Like a lot of women, they get turned on sexually by a guy. He gotta have a little bit of roughness. If he looking too good or too pretty or something, a lot of women don't want to fuck him. Unless it's like I said, a woman who got some masculine energy, she'll go for that guy quickly. That's because he's exhibiting feminine energy. Like when I talk about PCM, I haven't talked about it in a long time. I say physique, charisma, and masculinity. If you got like those things, you can turn a woman on. Sometimes a guy might not even have like that first one. His physique might be average, but then he got that charisma where he can connect to him. Plus, he's acting in a masculine manner. Shit, that woman getting wet. Because women, look, first of all, let's understand something about women. Women don't objectively want to just have sex. People put out all that shit. If that was the case, nobody would have trouble. People would just go out and do what they think objectively works for nothing. There's nothing objective. This is an art, not a science. Anybody who say science, I was like, okay, these people don't know. Because if it was a science, it would work every single time. If it was a science, it would work every single time. If you boil water at a certain temperature, it's going to boil every single time. If you freeze water, it's going to freeze at the same temperature every single. That's a science. That's a science. If you're talking about a man's looks, because you get some guys saying, well, he's objective. No. That's subjective in your opinion. But are you asking women? Are you asking women what they looking for? And it's rarely, there's a lot of times it's different. Because I've known so many women, because as a man, you can't judge. As a heterosexual, even as a gay man, you couldn't judge. Because you're not a woman. You are not a woman. Both sides gonna look at something different. Like I said, women like a little bit of roughness in a man. Shit, they looking at a man, they want to know if he can fuck. I mean, ain't no better way to saying it. They want to look at him and say, can this dude fuck? Can he fuck? And that's gonna be like his body build. That's gonna be how he moves, how he interact with people, everything. Like a man who's in tune, I would know. Like I know by how certain women will hug. I was like, oh yeah, she'd be good in bed. Yeah. But see, that's from a man's point of view as far as women. But see, when women look at a man, they looking at a whole bunch of things. And see, only a few men got that like that. Only a few. Only a small percentage, because unfortunately a lot of men get caught up in, you got a whole bunch of men getting caught up in just looks, but the most that do, they can look at you and say you look good and still not want to suck your dick. Just think about it. Like when you get some guys out here talking about some Pookie and Ray Ray don't look good. They some average looking motherfuckers. Or even, and I've used male exotic dancers a whole lot as an example. Anybody got a problem with it? Fuck you. Get in my motherfucking face and stop me from using it. I'm gonna keep using it because it is just an example. It's just an example, though. How these women be going crazy over those guys and what they got bodies. And plus, they know how to enhance their own sex appeal. Plus, the women, when they go in those environments, they'll lower their defenses. Because even if you look good to a woman, you still gotta, you can lower her defenses. Because they still want to know, can you do it in bed? A lot of women, they'll get with some other guys because they say, nah, these guys can fuck. Well, they think they can fuck. If you too much into yourself, they might be wondering, well, is this motherfucker want to try to satisfy me? That's how they looking at it. So they looking at all this shit. You ain't even thinking about it. So I've been around some women and they'll say different shit. It's ironic. They never say the man's face. Remember, I always remember when I was at a retreat down in Atlanta. And women were going in on who they thought was Mr. Goodbar, who was a masked man, nice guy, gamesman. And they named a couple guys. Like one guy, they just said, a woman said, yeah, because he tall, he got big hands. Yeah, tall. He got big hands, he got big feet. Shit. They be thinking and shit. Because understand something, it's really the woman, the seduction starts in a woman's imagination. When she look at a guy, she's judging him sexually, no matter where it is, no matter what the situation. She's judging him from the second she look at him. It really come down to whether or not she want to fuck him. Like, you look at those men who be getting those quick pops on those balloon pop shows. The woman, they don't want to come out and just say, nah, they wouldn't fuck him. But if he turning them on or something, they might wait a bit and say, okay. And some of them even said, yeah, I want to see what he's saying first. In fact, I got something coming on. I'll be talking about that on my Patreon this week. Some men be blowing it by talking. And see, a smart man, he can tell which women checking him out by how she looking at him and everything. And the signs, you just gotta learn. All you have to do is think about all the women that you've had sex with. That's all you have to do. Think about all the women you've had sex with, even if it's a few. What they have in common and shit. And what was it about you that they wanted to fuck you? You know? And it could be numerous reasons. It could be pure lust. It could have been money. It could have been anything. I would put it like this. How did she act when you think it was just lust? You know? Now, no pity sex. Not transactional. Not relationship type. In fact, I talked about that. That was one of my bigger videos. I'm going to put that in the description box. And everything. You know, it was like 5 types. It was like the pity sex. That's the worst. That's when a woman's cool with you and think you need some pussy, man. But honestly, the type of woman who would do that is on some whole shit anyway. And she might just say, you know what, let me break this motherfucker off, son. You know, something to do sex. You know, she was just bored. And stuff. The first 2, you don't have to be select for. Now, the last 3, it was what? Relationship sex. That's when she in a relationship with you. She like other shit with you. She may or may not like the sex, but she knows she was supposed to give you something. You know? Transactional sex, you straight paid for that shit. And there's some women, even some what pimps would call renegades and shit out there. You know, as long as a motherfucker paying, either paying directly or, you know, taking her to some expensive place, making sure she don't have to pay, or paying rent or something like that. Shit transactional. Then the best is always lust. Just pure motherfucking lust. Like, she look at your body, she wet there. You don't even have to really engage in foreplay. Though you should. 10 minutes on each breast. Do something. You know, turn her on. Try to, anyway. If you ain't feeling it, turn her on. You ain't need to be with her. But that lust sex, that's the best one. Yeah, I'll put that video in the description box too. Well, we got three things in the description box. Yeah, but understand something. Just understand that one thing. Okay, so you look good too. First of all, like I said, no, why the fuck would you pay a man to judge your looks? You ain't trying to fuck that motherfucker. And that man, no matter what, ain't trying to use some science and shit. Who's that really working for? That shit ain't working for nobody. I'm with even a woman. Don't ask her how you look. Ask her, can he get it? Can I get it? That's all you need to ask a woman. That's all she need to know. Like I talked about on my IG last week, and got it from one of my inner circle guys. Like when he was talking about women, it was like she either 0 or 1. That's only that's the only like criteria. 0 or 1. 0, you don't want to fuck her. She ain't passed that fuck test, that boner test. A 1 means he'd fuck her. That's all should matter. All those other numbers and shit are whack as shit. Cause as a man, the best pussy out there ain't always the prettiest. Seriously. You know, seriously. Ain't always the best. You know? Women thinking the same motherfucking way. Women thinking the same fucking way. Ain't surprised those women said what they said on Love Island. I'm surprised that the censors didn't get to them. But one said she couldn't see herself sleeping with a guy, and he looked like a total Chad. You know, tall, muscular, and stuff. Had that whole Chad look. She said she couldn't see herself sleeping with him. Another guy, she worried about cool with him, otherwise worried about if he'll be good in bed. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. That's why some women, they'll get that handsome man, maybe even marry him and stuff, look good to friends and family. But then, cheating with some motherfucker, you be like, why? You know how to make a holler. I mean, seriously. That's how you gotta talk it. Like, That's why, you know, even like I talk about that Mr. Goodbar thing, it's mostly women and shit who confirm that shit. And I asked them, you'd be surprised who they, seriously, who a woman want and who, like, a lot of guys online talking about a woman who wanted two different things. They're really two different things. Like, I mean, when I talk want, like, they want to be in the bedroom with the motherfucker. You know? That's all that matters at the end of the day. So anyway, though, go in here and get something, but always remember that. I mean, and you know, we can argue about that. Cause think about something. If it was just looks, we wouldn't need handsome man game. Do the math. Think for a second. Just think. We wouldn't need that if that's all that was mattered. If that's all that mattered, you wouldn't need that. You know? Plenty of guys thinking, oh, I got this. Because even with body game, you still got to have some personality. You still got to have the right attitude. You know, ain't no science. If it was the science, nobody would have a problem. People would just employ the science. Seriously. I want y'all to think about that. If it was just the science, people would just employ it. That'd be it. So, anyway, though, that's all I got for today. Yeah, I'm finished now. I'll get back with y'all, but I want y'all to think on this now. And if y'all want to know how to do it, because invariably somebody do, it ain't a single video. Follow my philosophy. I'm telling you how to be sexy to a woman. Follow my entire philosophy. That means you need to check out all my shit and then apply it more than anything else. Apply it. So anyway, I get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.